Yo, what is up, everybody? Back again. Y'all already know what
Nail,
it is.
play that shit.
Oh yeah!
Oh man, this man got the background.
You already know, man. Get that money, man. Get that money. Take to the house. Ain't no easy money. Easy money. Well, it should be easy money, but like
Look,
I
knock
said,
on wood, knock on wood.
Look at the rookies we drafted. We got Dean and we got Davis. Two from Florida. It doesn't get better than that shit.
yeah, put that shit up.
As Ricky Bobby said, if you ain't first,
You're
you're
last.
last.
Exactly.
Second place is at 2.
Definitely gonna make up for it.
Trust me. I need a sports podcast, man. I need it. Welcome to the podcast, everybody. It is Super Bowl week, Super Bowl special episode incoming. Got my boy Cam, not my boy this week. Cause you see the hat, you see my jersey, you already know what time it is. Got my boy Chris on the dog Cam. Y'all already know what it is. Your kids from the neighborhood, man. Well, I told y'all last week in the conference championship week recap, we were saving the good stuff for Super Bowl week because we didn't want to put it out there too fast. But we're now 3 days away. Thursday night. Sunday can't come fast enough. Super Bowl 57, Kansas City Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Both teams finished the year 14-3, both first season of conference, and both marched their way right to the Super Bowl, man. Let's get into it. We got a lot to talk about. Man. Let's start it off with most of the main headlines I've been seeing, is who's gonna control the trenches in this game. You got the Eagles, who are, I think, the second most sacks in the NFL history behind only the 85 Bears with 70. You got my Chiefs, who don't get talked about much, but we second with 55 sacks this year. And then on the flip side, on the offensive side of the ball, you got the Eagles offensive line, who's the best run blocking offensive line in the league. And you got the Chiefs offensive line, who's the best pass blocking team in the league, man. So it's literally best against best. Couldn't have asked for a better matchup. Matchup between two black QBs. First time in NFL history this happens in the Super Bowl, man. A lot on the line. But in the battle of the trenches, KC O-line versus Philly D-line. Philly O-line versus KC's D-line. Which unit sways the outcome of the game the most and who performs the best, man? I'm going to say me and Cam for last as our teams. I'm going to pass it to Cam Sanders first, man. Who you think wins the battle of the trenches?
Well, I think wins battle of the trenches. Ooh, I'm gonna have to go. Philly O-line. I mean, they've been one of the best, if not the best, in all of football this year. Once that run game gets going, I mean, it's hard to stop them big boys. You see what Lane Johnson doing right now, and he's not even close to 100%. And what he's doing right now is probably the greatest offensive line season we probably seen in a minute right now. So what he's doing is amazing. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go with Eagles O line because I don't think. I mean, maybe Chris Jones gets active, or maybe Frank Clark or somebody like that. But other than that, I mean, I don't know. On paper, is Philly O-line. So I'm gonna go Philly O-line.
Hey, passing it to you, Chris. Who you got?
Yeah, nah, it ain't much to say. Cam said it all. I have to go Philly O-line too. They number one ranked O-line. Shoot, I think we got through them a couple times, maybe, but I like Cam just said, Chris Jones is like the only person I feel like on Kansas D line that's gonna really make something pop. And he good for going off. Ain't no, we not saying that, you feel me, he not gonna get back there. But like Cam said, on paper, it's Philly O line for sure.
You want me to go first or you can?
No, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say, you already know I'm gonna say Philly O line. Like Cam said,
Johnson not even close to 100%. He still got the whole issue. But the way he was able to stop going against the 49ers, the last matchup, he was able to stop Nick Bosa. They have like nothing at all. And that's now the defensive player of the year. They announced it not too long ago. So if you're able to stop him and not even at close to 80% at that, you still need offseason surgery. Ain't no telling what they could have did or what they can do at a full healthy like O-line. So I definitely got to say that. No disrespect to Chris Jones. He had a monster last game. I'm finally so glad he finally got a postseason sack.
Called it. Oh my God.
That made me happy because I like rooting for him to see what he can do as a player. But outside of him and maybe Frank Clark, I don't see anyone else who can go past the O-line. Like Kelce balling at his age. We got Jordan Mailata, he's doing his thing. Dickerson doing his thing. That O-line is crucial. So I don't see anyone going past the O-line.
Okay. Well, me, I'm going with not even. Y'all know I'm gonna pick something cheap, but I'm going not even our offensive line. I'm going with our defensive line. I was nervous coming into playoffs because, like I said, Chris Jones, however many years, I think we drafted him in 2016 or 2017, still hadn't had a playoff sack yet. Was interested to see, can he get that, monkey off his back? Our D-line going up against Joe Burrow. Last year, we could not get him to the ground at all. And that's partially Chris Jones, too. I was like, I don't know if our defensive line can really do it. But on paper, while the Eagles' defensive line does lead the league in sacks with 70, I didn't even realize we have 55. But they've been balling all year. And it's not just Chris Jones. It's not just Frank Clark. We got Mike Dannon that comes in. Derek Nottie is an excellent run stopper. The rookie George Karlaftis has the most pressures for rookie defenders this year. I think they feel really disrespected right now. They felt really disrespected coming into last week, having to hear all that Joe Burrow talk. And then obviously this past 2 weeks, it's all been, can defensive line for Philly, wreck Mahomes because they can get to the passer like nobody else. And then the offensive line, they're just going to be able to have their way and run the football. And while the Eagles line is great offensively speaking, or running the ball, on offense, and Lane Johnson is a beast, like you said, he is not 100% healthy, and he just tore his groin on top of the injury he already had. And even though he played well, it's going to be interesting to see him in a battle with Chris Jones because we're going to be moving him around. And Frank, the Shark Clark, dude is a beast. He is now third all time in NFL playoff sacks behind Bruce Smith with 13.5. He's a dog. And not only the sacks, he's our best run stopper. So as long as he can contain the edge, and I'm not saying Philly won't have success running the ball, but if we can shore up some of those, big time runs and kind of get you on third down and long situations, I think our defensive line is definitely up for task, and they've been balling out these playoffs so far. And it's not defensive line, but I was a little anxious because Willie Gay got hurt in the last game. I know we were going to have him. He's back healthy, fully practicing all week. So I think that's going to help us, with Jalen Hurts running the football at that linebacker level. Him and Nick Bowen, probably the two fastest linebackers in the league speed-wise. But yeah, man, people sleeping on our D-line. I think, they want to be a reason we can win this game just as much as, the usual, Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Travis Kelce, all that. Like you heard it after the Cincinnati game. Chris Jones literally in his after game interview on the field was like, no, man, yeah, the offense did their thing, but when you talk about this game, talk about the Chiefs. And I think it's kind of like 2019 when we won. Even though the offense brought us back, defense had to steal the game in the last two possessions and shut down Jimmy G. Chris Jones has some crucial batted passes. I think he's going to be able to do that if he can't get back to Jalen Hurts and sack him. And like I said, man, I just think the boys ready to, put their name out there and show and prove everybody wrong for sleeping on them. So that's who I got in the battle of the trenches. But like I said, the trenches will decide who wins this game, I think. And it's two great matchups on both sides of the ball. Y'all picked Philly O-line. I picked our defense. We didn't even talk about the flip side of that. So I want to actually touch on that too. Philly defensive line I think y'all 7-8 deep Like y'all can just rotate in, 5 in, fresh new 3, 4 guys in. Hassan Reddick. Honestly, I think the NFL awards are going on right now. I think you just said, Cam, earlier before we were recording this, that he got 2 first place votes. He honestly deserved more than that. Granted, I know Nick Bosa had a great year, but Hassan Reddick was right there, and he's part of the main reason why the Eagles are leading the league in sacks. Got Ndamukong Suh, great free agent signing in the middle of the season. Fletcher Cox, who's been there, and that defensive line, they can get after it. And Mahomes, his ankle, it's not 100%, but he's moving better. He's had of course, a week off to rest, so we'll see how he's moving. It's gonna be interesting to see if the line can hold up. I'm really concerned about Andrew Wiley. I think he's gonna be matched up with Hassan Reddick the most. I don't know if that's a matchup he can consistently win. We about to find out. That's what concerns me on that front. But who you think wins the matchup between the Philly D-line and Kansas City's offensive line, Cam Sanders? I'll go to you first.
Ooh, I'm gonna go Chiefs O-line. What I'm about to say might be kind of crazy, but first I'm gonna say this: if the Eagles want, a chance to win, they gotta make Pat, uncomfortable. They gotta get some sacks on him. They gotta get some QB pressures, QB hurries on them. But I'm gonna say this: I don't think they get a sack on him. I don't think they get not one sack. They might prove me wrong, but I don't think they'll get not one sack on them. I think Pat gonna get the ball out his hands pretty fast this game. Quick as we probably have ever seen out of anybody. I don't think the O-line gonna let Pat get touched. So I'm gonna go Chiefs online, and I'm gonna say this: I don't think they get not one sack. So we'll see. We'll see.
I hear you, Chris. What about you,
bro? Cam keep taking the words out of my mouth. Honestly, I feel the same way though. Like I feel like I know we don't want to touch on it because Pat, whatever. But I think if you Kansas City O-line, you really don't gotta do much, bro. Your QB is that good to the point where that okay, if I block get this man at least 4.5 seconds, he gonna get the ball out of his hands. And that's what it's gonna come down to. That's kind of how I felt when we had our first matchup against the Eagles. I was like, in terms of Jalen Hurts, right? Like, if he can get the ball out his hands, Micah Parsons is not gonna be able to rush him, right? It's the same concept. I'll take Kansas City O-line, bro. I don't know if I would go so far to say they're not gonna get a sack. I don't know. They may not get one, bro. Very hardly do I ever watch a game and I see Pat get put down for real. Plus, they know he kind of injured. It's Super Bowl. They're gonna protect their quarterback.
They better. That's what we paid them for after that Bucs Super Bowl. That's literally what Brett Veach told him after the game. This will not happen again. Went out and spent $100 million and literally all new offensive linemen, revamped the O-line. 2 years in now. This is literally the moment for them to shine. Like, this is like, we learn from our errors and hopefully, we fix them all. But we're gonna see. I think they'll keep them upright, and then I think it's Super Bowl adrenaline. I think Pat will be amped up. If he needs to escape out the pocket, I think he's gonna be able to do that a little bit better than he was doing in the Cincy game, because you could tell he was a little hesitant until he just absolutely needed it. This game, I think it's Super Bowl. He's going all out, all on the line. So if he got to run, he gonna run. If he need to escape, do 2 360s and get out the pocket, he gonna do that. I don't know if I'll go as far as saying they won't get a sack. I think they might be able to get to him once or twice. But if they can keep him, if they don't get a sack, we're gonna blow them out. Because that means Pat is gonna be dealing if they can't get back to him, and he just has all the time in the world to pick apart their defense. So they definitely need to get QB pressures and get a few sacks. But I think it's gonna be a great battle. Personally, I think Creed Humphrey, although Jason Kelce is a Hall of Fame center, no doubt, I think Creed Humphrey is the best center in the league, and Jason Kelce is a close second, and Creed Humphrey is this is his second year, and he's already the #1 rated center by PFF, even though you got to take those gradings with a grain of salt. but I think he'll be good. And I think Orlando Brown, he been saying he want money this offseason. We weren't able to come to a deal, to this past offseason. Go prove it. If you want to get paid, go prove it right here. This is literally the game where you make your money and you protect Patrick's blind side, especially with the ankle. And I know Andy will have certain protections dialed up and plays dialed up to get the ball out of Pat's hands real quick and, try to avoid off some of that pressure or have screens to maybe make the defense think for a half second more than they usually do just teeing off the ball. But yeah, man, I think our O-line can win that matchup, but like I said, my biggest concern is Andrew Wiley versus Hassan Reddick. That's going to be a tough-ass matchup, and I don't know how that's going to go. I hope Wiley can hold his own, but I don't know if he will be able to against Hassan Reddick. That man, he been doing his thing all year, and I think, obviously on that side of the ball, they're going to be ready to go too. So pass it to you, Cam Swan. How you think your D-line holds up against my Chiefs O-line?
I think we definitely can, make some noise. However, in my opinion, I don't think it's gonna be Hassan Reddick who's gonna make the impact. I think it's gonna be Brandon Graham. And the reason why is because, in my opinion, he should have been comeback player of the year. Let's start there. Now, you coming back from Achilles tear and racking up a career high 11.5 sacks. At his age at 34, like that's something that, that's something like a lot of players are not able to do, and been like a Pro Bowl snub. But nevertheless, I feel like he's gonna be that one player to watch out for. Let alone back in 2017 when he was the reason why we won the Super Bowl with that strip sack fumble on Brady himself. So I feel like he's gonna be the player to look out for. I know the reason why I said it too is because bringing in Joseph and Ndamukong Suh to clog up the running lane, and so you can have a lot of people are gonna be focused on Hassan Reddick with his pass rush, but they're gonna forget who Graham is, and they're gonna forget about Fletcher Cox and Josh Sweat. So I feel like Brandon Graham probably could be the impact player in my opinion, and probably one of the ones to look out for to bring the defense together. So I feel like they can bring the pressure. Like I said, a lot of people are gonna be focused on Sweat and Reddick because of the impact they do in the regular season and what Reddick did against the 49ers, but they forgot who Brandon Graham is and the reason why we won the first year back in 2017.
Okay, I feel that, and I totally forgot to mention him, but yes, also a beast. And yeah, he to come back from Achilles tear at 34. I mean, that really should just be comeback player of the year right there. I don't know if they've given out that award yet, but it's probably just gonna go to Geno Smith just based off that whole storyline. But realistically, yeah, Brandon Graham was comeback player of the year, hell of a year, and that's actually one of the the players Andy Reid drafted way back when. Him, Lane Johnson, and Kelce, and Cox, the four players that are still on the roster from Reid's tenure there, obviously won that Super Bowl in 17. And so they got the experience, and I'm sure they're trying to spread all the knowledge they can to the rest of the Eagles roster, man. But yeah, battle of trenches. Them big boys, it's gonna be a battle on both sides all game. Looking forward to seeing it. That said, obviously I think the stat is the 9 and the 13 of the last Super Bowl is 9 of them. This quarterback has won Super Bowl MVP. Usually that's who's gonna win it. But if we take the QBs out of the equation, who do y'all think can win the Super Bowl MVP, and what would they do to make that happen?
Travis Kelce, 4 touchdowns.
I wish. Hey, the Kelce Bowl, I hope he go off and beat his big brother again. We'll see. I was going to pass it to you first, Chris, but that simple?
It wasn't hard.
Travis Kelce, 4 touchdowns. I don't know what the odds are on that, but if y'all want to sprinkle, I'm sure they're crazy. Travis Kelce, at least 4 touchdowns. That would be insane. Okay, Kale, who do you think can win the MVP that if it wasn't Jalen Hurts or Patrick Mahomes?
I'm gonna give 2 answers. If it's the Chiefs, obviously gotta go Travis Kelce. I mean, who else would you? I don't know who else would y'all pick. Gotta be Travis Kelce. I feel like. On the other side, the Eagles, I would say Miles Sanders. I think Miles Sanders, he could get like a 3 touchdown game. I feel like they'll have to run the ball a lot, to win this game. So I'm gonna go Miles Sanders. Probably get around like 3 touchdowns, rack up around like 150 total yards. somewhere around that. So those are my two choices.
Okay.
Okay.
Pass to you next one. What you think?
If I had to say the Chiefs, I'm gonna say Kelce. He's showing the reason why he's arguably the best tight end ever to play the game. Or one of the best. And in this game, it's gonna be hard to guard him, obviously. So I definitely get him the nods for that. If I had to say on the Eagles, I'm had to say Reddick. Like I said, he's literally one of the reasons why on the defense, why the defense is what it is. He make it easier for the secondary going into the QB to where they have to, you know what I'm saying, like just throw it out there. Leading to Bradbury and Slay and Gardner Johnson, sometimes Blankenship to, you know what I'm saying, interrupt the passing. So I have to say Reddick, just for his season alone, he had probably one of the best pass rushing season on the South from a linebacker. Definitely gave me a glimpse of how Von Miller was when he first came in. He came out his breakout season. So I have to say Hassan Reddick, but on that side I have two. So if it's not Reddick, I definitely agree with Miles Sanders. I put it with him or even Kenny Gainwell as a two-headed monster. Because like I said, we have to rush the ball a lot. Not saying I don't trust Jalen Hurts' arm, but the run game got us to where we are. And I believe the Eagles are 10-0, 9-0 whenever Jalen Hurts run himself. So and whenever Miles Sanders run the ball too. So if we can have Sanders going off for like a two TD, 3 TD game, I think he should get the nods as well. If it's not Hassan Reddick.
Okay. For me, Eagles wise, I think it would be AJ Brown. And I'm saying that speaking from, I said it on the last episode, I think you're on Cam. I remember I went to the game in Tennessee last year and watched AJ Brown kill us. Luckily, we have none of those corners on our roster anymore. And our rookie corners at that have been playing really good ball. And they seem to be getting, they're not rookies anymore. They got a hold of Spags' playbook and they're balling out. But I think AJ Brown, if he could have that type of game he had versus last year, where he's kind of just dominating and going deep and getting yak all over the field, it could be him. On the Chiefs side, I'm actually gonna go away from the offensive side of the ball. I mean, I could see Kelce, but at the same time, if Kelce were to do, what y'all saying he could do and go off, I feel like Patrick Mahomes is just gonna get MVP by default because he'll be going off as well because he's throwing the touchdowns. But for me, I think the one person who could do it will be Frank Clark. I like on the Von Miller type thing. Like I said, he's 2.5 sacks away from being the all-time leader in playoff sacks. So there's some added motivation there. He seems to bring his best ball out for the playoffs and, get game-clinching sacks and all that. And I feel like he can have his way on the other side of the ball because Chris Jones is going to be drawing a double team. I think Spags will mix it up where, he'll put Chris Jones next to Frank Clark or put him on the other side, kind of draw attention away from him, and Frank Clark can do his thing. And as long as we can keep Jalen Hurts in the pocket and get to him, maybe we can get a strip sack. Maybe he can deflect the ball that gets intercepted. But I think Frank Clark, I mean, he's a man on a mission. This past offseason, he basically just had to have a sit down and come to Jesus with Andy Reid because he didn't have the season he should have had last year. It wasn't, up to his standards. And then even, again, this regular season, he had a decent year, but it wasn't like he was just going off. And then when the playoffs come around, man, like he just kicks it up a notch, and it's like you gonna hear Frank Clark's name throughout the game. Last week, opened us up with a sack on Joe Burrow, set the tone of the game immediately. I'm not even kidding. When he did that on that first drive, and that's how we opened up after what I watched last year in the AFC Championship game, I was like, oh, they're ready to play for sure on this one. We about to do our thing, and it was led by him. And then that opened the door for Chris Jones finally getting his sack. But I think Sharky Clark, if there's anybody else that could get it besides Mahomes, I think he's gonna be a big reason why, and shutting down the run too. Like I said, he's our best run stopper, controlling the edge. So maybe Miles Sanders doesn't go off. I think Frank could do it, but I wouldn't be mad if like Chris said, Travis Kelce has 4 touchdowns. Obviously, in a dream scenario, yeah, I have 4 touchdowns, Travis. But like I said, if that happens, I just think they give Mahomes the MVP. But those are the MVPs besides quarterbacks. Obviously the quarterbacks are the favorites. I think Jalen Hurts is plus 120. Patrick Mahomes plus 125. So, if you want to take the safe bet, whichever team you think you're gonna win, take that quarterback for MVP. But obviously, some things can happen in a Super Bowl game that can make game-changing plays. Like I said, Von Miller, a couple years ago in that Rams-Patriots Super Bowl, the offenses were shut down so much. Julian Edelman got it because he had like 13 catches. So who knows? Who really knows? But next up, we're gonna talk into the quarterback topics, and obviously this has been some of the main topics on all these sports shows. So, like I said, first matchup in the Super Bowl between two black quarterbacks. You got Jalen Hurts, second round pick a couple years ago, coming into this year. People didn't really know if he was the franchise QB. That's obviously without a doubt now he is the franchise QB. Hopefully he gets paid this offseason. He deserves it. Love, to see his game just evolve throughout the years. He's literally gotten better every year since college, to the point even so Cam Sanders is now a believer in Jesus Hurts, because back in the day he wasn't, even though I was trying to tell him. And then obviously Patrick Mahomes, I mean, what more can we say? The best quarterback in the league, without a doubt. On a bum ankle, he went out there and balled a couple weeks ago in the AFC Championship. So if the Eagles win, does that make Jalen Hurts the second best quarterback in the NFL? And if the Chiefs win, does that make Patrick Mahomes top 4 all time in NFL history quarterbacks? I'll swing it to you first, Cam Sanders, and you can do whichever quarterback you want to start with. But how you feel about that?
I would say it would make Hurts the second best in the league or not, because for one, he led that team. He is that team pretty much, as we've seen at the end of the regular season with the Eagles. He got the Eagles that record. He got the Eagles this far. So if he wins it, on top of all the stuff he did this year, on top of him being a second round pick, I mean, you could say he's better than Josh Allen. If he wins this, you could say he's better than Josh Allen. You could say he's better than Joe Burrow. You could say he's better than all the other guys. So yeah, I mean, if he wins this, I mean, this is one of the hardest games to win in all of sports. You can say. So I mean, if he wins this, I mean, me personally, I would say yes, he'll be the second best in in the league right now. And as for Pat, I mean, my answer. He's already the greatest ever. So so you don't gotta ask me that. He's already the greatest ever. He's my GOAT in my opinion. So yeah, that's how I feel.
Okay. What about you, Chris?
If he wins this game, like if it's him, you feel me? Like earlier you mentioned, or I think it was Cam mentioned, Miles Sanders, right? If this is a running game, you feel me? I would not put him at the second all time, bro. Or not all time, but in the league. I think when you look at a quarterback, especially a quarterback that, and we don't, obviously the game hasn't happened, but a quarterback that don't perform like a quarterback in the game that we're using to determine if they the top 2 in the league, then you can't put them at top 2. Now, if he does perform, then I think it's only right, obviously. But if he don't perform, nah, honestly, if he don't perform, I'll still say he's better than Josh Allen, but I don't think he'd be better than Joe Burrow.
That's fair.
And then the thing about Pat, bro. Everybody should know that already.
Yeah, I'll go next. I'll save you for last, Cam. Jalen Hurts, you made a good point, Chris. So if it is, they win it running, obviously, then that there's not really argument to be made. But I would still put him. I would consider him in the tier with all the other best young quarterbacks. Like, he deserves to be in that conversation. And really, regardless, after this year, he deserves to be in it. Period. But some people will still, why they won't want to put him in there because he's a running QB. But we all know what that means. Yeah. But if he does ball out, you know, he definitely deserves to be second because I mean, all year people been trying to throw somebody over Patrick Mahomes, and these are quarterbacks who haven't won an MVP, haven't won a Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts is able to ball out, win a Super Bowl MVP. He's probably going to finish second in Super Bowl MVP voting and could have been first if he doesn't get injured. We'll never know, but he was definitely the favorite before he got hurt. He's already accomplished more than Josh Allen and Joe Burrow, the guys, they've been trying to throw over Patrick Mahomes. And this year he beat a record for the best running or the most rushing touchdowns. So, I mean, a dual threat quarterback, people don't get on Josh Allen for running so much. So Jalen Hurts is running the football better than him, and he's got way less turnovers than Josh Allen throwing the ball. I mean, I don't know if analysts will have the debate, but they need to have the debate that, yeah, Jalen Hurts might be better than them because he's performed better than them. At least this year, he'll get a chance, obviously, to back it up next year and confirm that, but I think it should definitely be in the discussion for sure. But like Chris said, it all, depends on whether or not he's the, main person that is the deciding factor if the Eagles win. And on the flip side, Mahomes, man, if I said top four, and in my mind, I was thinking you can make the argument, obviously Tom Brady's one, Joe Montana two, and then I was giving Peyton Manning three. But if Mahomes is able to have a good game, a great game, and win his second Super Bowl MVP, I would honestly make the argument that he could be over Peyton Manning and be the third best overall right now. I won't give him Joe Montana and Tom Brady because he's still got to win more championships. But I would make the argument to be over Peyton Manning, but I'll settle for him being top four. But yeah, man, at this point, like I've been saying, the debate it's dead about who's the best young quarterback, the best quarterback in the league. Tom Brady is retired. It is now Mahomes' league. Everybody else, it's an argument for second. Right now, the title belongs to Joe Burrow fairly. And then from there on, you can have your debate on who's third, fourth, Herbert, Allen, Hurts, whatever. But it's Mahomes number one, no question. If he's able to pull this off and win a Super Bowl, it will be the greatest start to a quarterback's career ever. That's including Tom Brady. Yes, Tom Brady won 3 Super Bowls, and this will only have been Mahomes' second. But Brady wasn't winning MVPs. He wasn't dicing up defenses like that in his first 3 Super Bowls. Those Super Bowls where New England had the best defense in the league too, and he was just game managing enough for them to win. Mahomes puts this together. He's about to rack up his second regular season MVP. He's already got 2 seasons of 5,000 yards passing, 1 season of 50 touchdowns, 5,000 yards, which only Manning and Brady have done. He hasn't lost in the playoffs besides overtime losses in the AFC Championship. Never had to play a road game. Like, it's literally crazy what he's done, regardless of what happens this week. And if he is able to pull off the Super Bowl win, it just further solidifies, like, bruh, what more? Like, at that point, I just want commentators to come out and say it, like, instead of trying to argue about Mahomes, is he this great? Who's better? Yada yada. I just want them to come out and say, I hate Patrick Mahomes, which is why I'm about to say this stupid ass take. And just leave it at that, because at that point, you arguing against all logic. Like, Tyreek is gone. Our receiver core has been banged up all year. We still don't have a top wide receiver one. Yes, he has Travis Kelce, but he's throwing 3,800 passing yards to other receivers. There's, I think, 15 players, a record on our team, that all have multiple catches on the season. I think 11 of them have touchdown catches. The number 2 receiver on our team with the most touchdowns is our second string running back, Jerick McKinnon. Like, dude, it doesn't matter. He does it all. Throw from any arm angle, can escape the pocket, run when he needs to. Like, honestly, as a Chiefs fan, it's literally made watching football so much fun, considering how it was up until I was, 20 years old before we got him, watching us year in, year out choke away playoff games. And now with Mahomes, like I said, we haven't not been in the AFC Championship game. Like, there's not too much to complain about as a Chiefs fan right now, despite, we lost a couple years to Tom Brady and Joe Burrow. So that's how I feel about it. Cam Swan, on you, man. Tell us about your boy Hurts and where he belongs in the QB combo and Mahomes.
I had to say, Chris made a great point. If he doesn't go off, you can't necessarily put him in the top 2 conversation. But however, I would say his season alone, I feel like I'm still gonna put him in that if he wins because Josh Allen never been to the Super Bowl. Joe Burrow lost in the Super Bowl. So with that being said, and then this is coming from a QB who got drafted in the 2nd round. And so he's not eligible for like the contract that Joe Burrow and Josh Allen pretty much going to receive and who already receives. Because these both are top 10 picks in their respective drafts. And one of them never even makes the Super Bowl. And he just got whooped by a QB who came off an ACL tear. So with that being said, I would definitely put him in the top 2. And I put him as the most underrated top 2 QB in my opinion because a lot of people viewed him as a running back, like you said. They pretty much bringing up the past of him being benched in Alabama to Tua for the championship game. They bring up a lot of old stuff that happened. Like he didn't get better and went to OU to make that team a better program under like Lincoln Riley at that. You know what I'm saying? So I have to say I definitely put him in the top 2 conversation behind Pat Mahomes for sure, especially the season alone. And another point I was going to make is that he's doing this while he's surrounding himself while players, the people on his, besides Devontae Smith, everybody else is not on rookie contracts. Let's start there. So the fact that he's doing that while a lot of his players are not on rookie contracts, that says something. No disrespect to Joe Burrow, but T. Higgins and Jamar Chase are on rookie contracts, and Joe Burrow himself is on a rookie contract. So you want to win a lot while you're on a rookie contract, while you're surrounding weapons on rookie contracts, because once they get that big money, now disrespect to the Cowboys, but you've seen what happened when a lot of your top players get that money. A lot of people start departing. You see Amari Cooper leave. You see other players leave. It's different teams like that. So the fact that he's able to do that, especially last year alone, he took them to the playoffs with Devontae Smith as his best receiver, and the next best receiver was Jalen Reagor and Greg Ward. And they didn't really do much on that end, but Devontae did. So the fact that you were able to bring in top-tier receivers, and still feed them the ball, you had a career year in A.J. Brown. You had a career year in Devontae Smith. You had a career year in Miles Sanders. It's no team – I don't think in NFL history there's never been a team that had 2 receivers both had 1,000 yards and the running back had 1,000 yards. Like that pretty much haven't been done since forever. And if, God forbid, if Dallas Goedert never got hurt, he'll had almost 1,000 yards himself before he got hurt for missing like the 4 or 5 games. So that shows you the elevation that he brought to the game, and he was still able to. Jalen Hurts, if he never got hurt, he probably have 1,000 yards rushing too. I think he had close to 860, something like that, and he was pacing for 4,000. 3,500 to 4,000. So he had a phenomenal season outside of missing 2 games because of injury. So I'll definitely put him in the top 2 for sure on that. And like you said, it also goes with supporting cast. But once you have a better supporting cast, of course, you're going to elevate your game. Now, if he was still playing the same he did last year with a different cast like that would be a different story. So that's why I put him in the top 2. And I definitely put him as a person who elevated his game. Got everybody involved. A lot of people said, okay, I don't know how A.J. Brown is going to fit. I don't know how Devontae going to share the ball now. He's going to be like the 1B receiver now. How Kez Walker can get the ball is, how Dallas Goedert going to fit. But he made sure everybody got the ball and made sure everybody had career years. That says a lot. So that's hard to do when you got the biggest names all on the same team and you have to share the ball with them and nobody got upset. And if they did go upset, look, they come back and had a phenomenal game. Devontae Smith started off the season, no reception, no receiving yards, and he still finished off 1,000. Jalen Hurts made him look like phenomenal. He had games where he had like 169 yards and stuff like that. A.J. Brown went off this year. With Tennessee alone, that's another running offensive team. He didn't even have like a career year like he did with us. He didn't have 1,400 yards or nothing. And we're the same running offense they are. And that shows that Jalen Hurts is a great quarterback. Now, going to the Pat Mahomes situation, I already said he's in my top 3 no matter what. And him winning this is going to forever solidify that. Because, like, no disrespect to Brady, no disrespect Joe Montana, I'm gonna put them as 1, 2. I put him as third because when Peyton Manning came in, he came in throwing, I think, a career high, 18 interceptions. He was already just throwing anyway. So when people mention like, you know what I'm saying, interception like that, him, Breeze, they all threw a lot of interceptions. But they always list them as the all-time favorites. Pat Mahomes never really had a interception games like that at all. Like you said, he had 5,000 yards receiving. I mean, rush passing, excuse me. Why I say that. And on top of that, he lost his top receiver in Tyreek Hill and still made the Super Bowl. And still arguably, not even arguably, he's gonna win MVP. Like that's I'm giving all props to that. This is probably one of the most talented QBs I don't ever seen ever. That's why I feel like he's definitely in the top 3. And then on top of that, they've been to every AFC championship since he became a star, since he took over for Alex Smith. No other team ever did that. It either been Buffalo as a rival, the Patriots as a rival, or the Bengals. But it never been a consistent team like the Chiefs. And to finish off my point on that is that he proved everybody wrong. Everybody was praying for his downfall, saying, okay, he's not gonna. He's the fastest QB to hit like a certain amount of passing yards. No other QB ever did that. And then he did it for consecutive seasons. No other QB ever did that. Not even close. Not even one of the greats like with Big Ben and Phillip Rivers and everybody else. They didn't do that what he did. And they had arguably one of the best talent ever. And they didn't even do much with that. So I got Pat Mahomes in my top 3. I already solidified that. And if he win this and Super Bowl MVP, that a lot of QBs didn't even get to do, like win Super Bowl MVP this young and already championship, and you win another, his name got to be in the top 3 as one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Yeah, so I said it before the season started. Solidify Hall of Fame if he goes off this year, and he's done it. I mean, the Super Bowl obviously will be the icing on the cake, but he's literally a first ballot Hall of Famer solidified now. It's not too many quarterbacks with multiple MVPs and multiple leading the yardage and touchdowns in the season, and he's already done that 5 years in. They keep saying 6 because he's technically been in the league 6 years, but of course he sat out his rookie year. But even to put it into more context, since he's became the starter in 2018, he's first in passing yards, first in touchdowns, first in passer rating, first in QBR. And in the playoffs, he's number 1 in everything as well since he's came to the league. So literally, since he's came into the league, he's literally been the best across the whole league. So at this point, when analysts like Skip Bayless, Bart Scott get on here and like spit stupid stuff and try to bring down, I'm just like, I'd just rather you say you're a hater and just leave it at that, because you don't even believe the stuff that's coming out of your mouth. But on the flip side, it makes me happy. I'm a Jalen Hurts fan. Obviously not for this game, but my dad, my sister, she go to OU right now, but they're OU fans. So I watched him when he transferred. He was a Heisman contender that season. He's like I said, he's been improving every year. 2 black quarterbacks. At the end of the day, Sunday night, analysts are gonna have to give props to one of them at the very least, and I know that's gonna make them sick. And I'm excited to see it because they literally got to give them their flowers. Whoever that is, we don't know yet, but they're going to have to eat their words because they was talking down on them all offseason, both of them. Hurts with, can he be a franchise quarterback? Well, now pay that man his $200 million, regardless of the outcome of this game. Patrick Mahomes, he fell off. Last year was his worst season, even though that's literally damn near every quarterback's career season in NFL history besides the best ones. And then to come out this year and lead the league again in all the stats without Tyreek Hill, loses number 1 wide receiver McCole Hardman, who's the only one who returned from last year, and then finally, beat Joe Burrow in the playoffs on a bum ankle after all that stuff that was being said. Like, you can't make excuses anymore. Just give them their credit. Both balled out. Both led their teams this year. Now they meet in the Super Bowl. Can't wait. Next up, we're gonna have our best bet segment. So, we're gonna kick it off. I know how I listed it in the notes I sent all of y'all, but we're gonna start off with the novelty props. And for y'all that don't know, the novelty props for every Super Bowl, They let you bet on literally everything. So you could bet on what color Gatorade you think the winning coach is gonna get poured on him. You could bet on how long the national anthem will last over or under. You can bet on everything in this game. Just a way to bring Vegas in a lot of money on just little quirks you can bet on. So we're gonna each have one of our best novelty props to give out. Then we're gonna have our best player prop. And then we're gonna have the Chiefs, Eagles, who gonna win spread. The spread opened up at 2.5 Eagles. It's now 1.5. But I'll share what I have, of course. But I locked something in way earlier, so mine is a little different. But that's what the lines currently sit at right now. So novelty props up first. Who want to go first? It don't matter to me.
Yeah, it don't matter to me.
Let's say at the end of the game, when they dump the Gatorade on the coach, because what is it? It's usually blue, orange, or sometimes yellow. I think it'll be orange. It really ain't no stats to these things either. It's just like what you think is gonna be. I think it'll be orange.
Oh yeah. Man, gotta scroll all the way down. Like this really crazy. Like you can bet on Rihanna's shoe color for the halftime performance.
Oh
Like,
wow.
who? If you're putting money on that, whoever listens to that, please go get help. Do not bet on that.
Fine, God.
Fine, God. I'm gonna send you the gambling hotline. But I think orange is plus 300 if I'm not mistaken for the Gatorade of the winning coach. So I honestly I was staying away from that one, but if I was gonna bet that, I was gonna bet orange too. Because last time we won, orange Gatorade was poured on Andy Reid, so that was my best guess. But who knows? Who knows? I'll go next. I'm gonna bet on the length of the U.S. national anthem before the game.
Oh my God, I was gonna do that one.
That
So-
was like 5 minutes, bro.
So the over under is 125 seconds or 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Chris Stapleton will be singing it, and for those of you who don't know, which I didn't know, I did some research on this and figured out he's a country singer and he sings some slow country songs. And I'm pretty sure he sang this once before at a sporting event, and it was like 2 minutes and 11 seconds. I'm pretty sure for the Super Bowl, he, gonna go all out, and it's gonna be longer than 125 seconds. So I'm taking over at I think it's negative 150 odds. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Chris Stapleton national anthem over. You can also bet on if he omits any words of the national anthem, and you could bet if the last home of the Brave is longer than 5 seconds or not. So like I said,
You got a bet on that one.
all these props, that one is negative 155. All these props are crazy, man. If y'all don't have anywhere to bet these, and you're like, where are you seeing all this? Bet US. The link is in the description of the YouTube. You can find the link on our Twitter. It's attached to every play I tweet out. The link is also in the bio on our link tree. Go sign up, 125% match deposit, and go to the prop section. Click on novelty props, and I'm telling you, you will be scrolling for minutes. That's how many props are available to bet on. Just another random one, just for example. When will Mama Kelce be shown first after kickoff? First quarter plus 150, second quarter plus 325, third quarter plus 325, fourth quarter plus 175. Honestly, I'm going to take that one too. First quarter. They're going to show her.
Bro. It's first quarter, bro.
As soon as they say Jason Kelce or Travis Kelce, depending on who got the ball first, they're going to pan the camera to her. So you already know that's a given. And that's plus odds bet on all of them. You could honestly bet big first quarter and then sprinkle on all the other ones just in case. Like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Cam Sanders, what's your best novelty prop bet? Or you going national anthem too? I think you said.
I was, but I'm gonna go something else. I'm gonna go tails on the flip the coin. I'm gonna go tails.
Tails never fails.
I'm gonna go tails.
Okay, so for that one, you can also bet. You can bet those one. It's just always even, negative 115 for both heads or tails. But if you want to add some juice to it, you can bet the Chiefs to win the coin toss and land on tails, or heads for plus 250. And we're going to be calling it because we're the away team. I'm feeling, tails never fails. We win the coin cost plus 250. If you like that one, sprinkle on it. But you heard it from Cam first, man. Tails. Gotta go tails. Somebody gonna listen to this, bet the house on tails, and then we're gonna go heads. It's gonna be like money gone. Money gone. Please do not bet big on these props. Like, especially the heads and tails. That's literally 50-50. Stay away from that if you're gonna bet big. Just sprinkle on what you feel. Cam Swan, what you looking at? What you think?
The one I just did, I did the same thing I did. Well, mine's different. The first play is gonna be a rush. That's what I did. The first play of the game is gonna be a rushing play.
Okay, what's the odds for that?
That one's under 150. Yeah, that's what I did. I feel like either team gonna do that. Like, they ain't gonna go out the Roach is throwing the ball. Like, they feet with first.
Yeah.
You gotta open up the passing game.
Yeah.
I'm just still looking at more. I guess Joe Biden's gonna have an interview before the game. You can bet on which player he mentions first, Patrick Mahomes or Jalen Hurts.
Bro, what? What?
He gonna mention Mahomes first.
Where are you getting these bets from? I don't know.
Yeah, that's random. That's super random.
That's crazy. Okay. Enough with the weird, wacky novelty props. Let's go player props. What y'all feeling for the player props? I'm passing it to you first, Cam Sanders. What you thinking?
First, I'm thinking. I don't know if they have it or not, but first I'm thinking Patrick Mahomes over in rushing yards.
Oh,
it's
over 19 and a half right now. Over under 19 and a half.
Yeah, that's kind of, I don't know.
And don't forget too, with the rushing yards and QBs, if whoever win, take a QB nil in the game, that takes yards away too. So if they right there, like Patrick Mahomes hit his rushing prop in Super Bowl 54 versus the 49ers, and then when we took knees in the game, he lost it.
That's tough. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I say either him or Miles Sanders touchdowns.
You saying anytime touchdown or multiple touchdowns?
Nah, like whatever. What's his touchdown prop? Was probably like at 1.5 or some shit.
Let me see. Is gotta scroll a lot.
Vegas gonna get their money this week.
Shoot, I see. No, that's reception.
Here we go.
That's reception, receiving yards.
I don't even have a touchdown prop from him.
Yeah, I don't see the touchdown prop. I see if he gonna score a touchdown.
All right, we'll say score a touchdown. Miles Sanders scored a touchdown.
That's plus 100.
Yeah, even money, plus 100.
Oh, Pat just
won MVP.
Let's give it. Hey, look, I can tweet it out now. First episode ever we recorded. I told the people, first lock of the year, Patrick Mahomes wins NFL MVP plus 750 odds. Cashing out.
What you put on?
1 unit to look at that.
Oh no.
But okay. Chris, what about your best player prop bet?
I'll take Patrick Mahomes pass attempts. Ooh.
Speak of the devil, he just won it too. There go your money, Bryce.
Yeah, that's what we just said. No, Pat Mahomes completions. I'll take over 25.5.
Okay. I like that one. What's the odds for that?
Over -125. Under is -105. So I guess,
I mean, I think if it's gonna be a successful game, I think that over Or half the cash. But
essentially.
I think that's a good one.
They can still lose on that. But if they're going to want to win, he has
But I mean, even if we're losing, we're going to be throwing the ball a lot. So they're going to even up it. So that's a good bet, I feel like. What about you, Cam Swan? How you feeling?
What's the over for AJ Brown receiving, like receptions overall?
Receiving receptions. I got 5.5.
I'm gonna say under on that one. They can probably get like 4 on the dot.
Under is negative 136. So
Okay,
okay.
I'm gonna do that one.
Yeah. For me, I got Patrick Mahomes over 2.5 passing touchdowns plus 150. Think he finally puts it together and has a good Super Bowl and gets at least 3 of them, if not more, and has his day, which leads us into the next topic. We still got one more. So the last one is the bets for the spread. Chiefs plus 1.5, Eagles minus 1.5. Which side you taking? Me personally, when the lines opened up, literally as soon as the Chiefs won the AFC Championship and they came out with them, like I said, it opened up at plus 2.5. So I took it to plus 3 at negative 125. I bet Chiefs plus 3. But now if I had to make a bet, I would put us plus 1.5 too as well. So that's how I think it comes out. What about y'all? Cam Swan, I know you.
Yeah, as soon as the Eagles won, I did the Eagles that minus 105. So you already know.
Yeah, I saw that. I remember. What about you, Chris? What you feeling? Take the dog or the favorite?
I feel like in my heart, I would bet the Chiefs plus 1.5. But my thing about it with the Eagles is that, and we're not gonna count the Super Bowl back before we was born. I don't care about that. They got 2 more Super Bowls before this one. Is one with Brady when they went against Brady and Belichick in they beginning of their prom, like that. That's not fair. And they had Donovan McNabb, feel me, leading that team. And I think T.O. was on that team too.
Yeah, broke his leg that game.
But let's talk about for whatever reason, because the Eagles are very up and down, bro. They either have a great season or they have a butt season. Whenever they have a great season, bro, they just be winning. So I feel like if they gonna win, it has to be this season. Otherwise, I don't know when they'll do it again. I'm not saying Jalen Hurts is gonna fall off or nothing. It's just given what they've shown these at least past 20 years, is like when they high, they really high. And when they low, they really low. So I feel like looking at that, I would take the Eagles spread. But like in my right mind, in my heart, is like I would take Pat plus 1.5. That's like betting against LeBron. That's like betting against Brady. I feel like in my head. So honestly, I'm not gonna choose. I'm gonna stay away from that. I don't like that. I don't like how close it is. Maybe the logical bet would be the plus 1.5, but I don't know. I just feel like they've been real high. They winning. I don't see why not.
Okay. So what about you, Cam?
I mean, it's another toss-up game. But Patrick Mahomes as an underdog, man. I mean, I'll take it all day. I'll take that shit all day. Take it to the bank. When the greats can't what's it called them can't deny them. Also can't deny the Eagles. It's gonna be a good game. But like I said, man, Patrick Mahomes as underdog, I'll take that all day. That's like Alabama being the underdog. It's like you might as well bet on them. You might as well bet
That's
on
what I'm
them.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
Just in case.
And he see the lines. They watching the lines.
Yeah,
Bro.
watching it for
They
sure.
watching
Disrespect it. I'm ready. Oh boy, been itching to ball out. I cannot wait. And with that being said, to end it off for the Super Bowl episode, man, let's go to the game script, because obviously everything is scripted now,
Right.
according to NFL Twitter and Aaron Foster, even though he was
Aaron
trolling,
Foster.
but NFL or Twitter just had to run away with it, especially Bengals fans crying. But game script, how do you think the Super Bowl plays from start to finish? And based on that, what will be the headline on front news articles following Monday morning of Super Bowl Sunday? I'll go last for this one. Chris, Ken Sanders, who want to go first between y'all?
Man, I go first.
Okay.
So I'm sticking with my first choice here. I chose the Chiefs. I'm gonna stick with the Chiefs, even though on paper it says, it's just it screams Eagles, like just the Eagles win. Like, don't even like think about it. It's the Eagles win. The Eagles just better. They better on paper, a better team, been the best team in the league. But like I said, I'm gonna follow my first choice. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs with the win. Game script is I don't think it's gonna be a lot of I've been back and forth between this, but I don't think it's gonna be a lot of offense played. I think it's gonna be a lot of running. I think the final score, I think it's gonna be 24-21. A Bucker game winning field goal. It's gonna be a Pat Mahomes. Probably like a minute and 9 seconds left. It's just gonna be too much time for Pat Mahomes. He'll come down, get him in field goal range or whatnot. They'll kick the field goal, and headlines would be Chiefs dynasty, second Super Bowl in what 5 years, 4 years.
4 years.
In 4 years. So that's that.
Okay. What about you, Chris?
I don't know why y'all acting like y'all didn't see the script get leaked online, bro.
Yeah, someone did leak the script. The Eagles won 37-34 according to the Wikipedia script. Bro, if that actually happens, oh my god.
Imagine.
That score sound right. Whether it's the Eagles that win or the Chiefs that win, I feel like that's a score I see. I know Cam said he don't see a lot of offense, but I don't know. I see a lot of offense. I hope it's a shootout. That's what I'm hoping for. I feel like Chiefs come out like 10-0 first quarter. And then the Eagles finally put their head on, like, okay, this Super Bowl, can't play conservative. Let's start running and gunning. Maybe going to halftime tied up. And I honestly can't tell you what happens after that. But I do feel like it's gonna be a high scoring game. I feel like the Monday morning paper is gonna say something along the lines of like just a shootout Super Bowl 57. Something along the lines of two great QBs, and this is who won. Like, I don't know. If the Chiefs win, for sure is gonna mention dynasty in there. If the Eagles win, I don't know. They probably gonna curse in their newspaper. Philadelphia grimy.
Yeah,
Hella grimy.
Okay.
For mine, I have to say the very last play. First, I have to score 30-27. That's how I'm put it. The very last play is gonna be, in my opinion, a Jalen Hurts rushing touchdown to see that's going to win the game. And the newspaper is pretty gonna say they're gonna say the two black QBs, put out a phenomenal Super Bowl. It's also gonna say Eagles second Super Bowl in 6 years. And the last thing to say is Jalen Hurts is proving he's here to stay.
Okay.
Manifest it, boy. Manifest it.
You already know, man.
That's me knocking on wood. No. But okay. My NFL script, if y'all didn't know, I'm one of the script writers. Kind of been calling this whole season. You know what I'm saying? Patrick Mahomes just won. If y'all want to go back and look at the first episode, shortly after I explained why he would win MVP, I said, this is why you should sprinkle on us win the Super Bowl, because it's the legacy, man. It's been in the script. Tom Brady retired. Somebody got to take the throne. It's really already his, but this is where he solidifies it, sits down on it, takes a shit on it, makes it his own. I think we're gonna get out to a lead, and it's gonna force Jalen Hurts to throw the ball. And I'm not saying he can't throw the ball. It's just very unfortunate right now. He's dealing with a shoulder injury, so he hasn't been able to throw the ball well the last month and a half. And I don't think it's like to the point where it's better that he can really still do that consistently. And even when they ask him now, he just always answers like it's a process. Like my shoulder, like it's not 100%. It's not close, but I mean like it's getting better. I think it's something you really got to sit down and have an off season to rehab and get better. Those AC sprains aren't anything to play with, and it's his throwing shoulder. So I think we're gonna be able to get on a lead, force the Eagles into some tough situations where they haven't been down a lot. Patrick Mahomes is gonna do his thing, and the Eagles are gonna try to storm back late, and then we're gonna have the ball. It's gonna be a third down. Patrick Mahomes, and he's gonna put the game in Patrick Mahomes' hands. He's gonna seal it with a first down, take the knee, or some orange Gatorade on Coach Reed. Final score 28-24, plus 23,000 odds for the correct score of the Super Bowl. 28-24 Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, NFL MVP, with 4 touchdowns, 350 passing yards. And the paper Monday morning will say Showtime solidified. His nickname is Showtime. Everybody's been talking about his legacy since the offseason and us getting rid of Tyreek. Can he reach Brady? Will he ever have a chance? This going to put point blank period. He's the best. You can't deny it. You can't argue about it anymore. He is solidified. First ballot Hall of Fame. 2-time Super Bowl champ. 2-time Super Bowl MVP. 2-time regular season MVP. 222. It's magic numbers. Shout out to the Crystal Rock girls, man. That's how I see it going, man. I think it's gonna be a good game at the end, but I think we're gonna come out ready. That last Super Bowl with the Bucks left a sour taste in our mouths, and then not getting back there last year with the whole Cincy thing, getting over that hump. I think they ready. I think they ready to prove the world wrong again. And like Cam Center said, Mahomes as an underdog, it's not too many times in his career you're gonna be able to get that. You better take advantage of it while you can, plus money. Take my Chiefs to the bank, man. So
Cam like hell no.
I know it. But yeah, man, that's the Super Bowl episode. Appreciate you for coming on, Cam. It's your favorite kids from the neighborhood. Y'all already know what it is. Like I said, this Thursday night, Sunday cannot get here fast enough. I'm literally this whole work week. I'm just like, man, can we get to Sunday? Can we get to Sunday? Tired of looking at all the media days. It's even getting tired, looking at all these analysts going over the same topics, arguing about the same stuff. And it's like, can we just get to the game so these two teams can settle it on the field? Tired of the outside talk from other teams who are on the couch right now. Like, they don't matter. Eagles, Chiefs, Andy Reid, Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Jason Kelce. Let's go play it out on the field. May the best team win. Yeah, man. I don't know. I mean, I would just won't be talking to Cam all of Sunday. No matter the outcome, because I done been on the flip side of losing the Super Bowl. So even if we win, I'm not finna be talking shit because I know how heartbreaking that is. But yeah, man.
Somebody gonna be
mad.
Somebody gonna be.
It's not gonna be me,
bro. They
Somebody
both
gonna be
get
crazy,
mad, bro. They
bro.
both
You got two of the most angriest people. Can go ahead.
I'm telling you, I'm kicking y'all out of all the group chats, bro. I
I'm
don't.
turning my phone off, so it don't
Turn my
even
phone
matter.
off,
I don't
bro.
want to.
But as soon as they win, he turned them back on.
Like my friends talking about you don't watch Super Bowl, man. I'm like, bro, I'm gonna watch by myself.
Bro, what?
Yeah, nah, he got idea.
Jared tried to call me last week. I'm like, bro, when the Chiefs play, business being handled. I don't answer the phone to nobody. I don't care. Like my mama know not to call me, even if it's emergency. Don't call my phone. Like I cannot. I turned my phone off at halftime a couple weeks ago. Cam was like, "I thought you blocked me, bro. Like I just stop responding." That's how it be. Nerves be on end, and this is Super Bowl, man. Like, yeah, I can't.
It's just football, guys. At the end of the day,
Hey man,
nah, bro. I'm getting a ring.
More important.
I'm getting a ring if we win.
My phone's on D&D, bro. They tell me you want to hang out? I'm like, no, I got business to handle.
Yeah, you already know
boy
what
sitting
it
on the
is.
couch.
Hooked up on my couch, bro, watching the game.
Zoned in, like we in the game.
like you calling the coach.
Like my
Yeah.
legacy on the line for
They
this.
in
Like,
shell, they in shell. Come on, throw it over the top.
yeah, man. I already know what it is.
I'm like, bro,
I
they-
Needed
they-
Sports
they do good.
Podcast. Final NFL game of the year. Long time coming, but also this is when went by like a blur. Can't believe we finally to the end. We're giving y'all all the NFL content every week. Last game of the season, all on the line. Chiefs or Eagles. I mean, if sometimes we do have people comment. If y'all watching this and want to comment which team you gonna think will win below. And if you're on Spotify or Apple Music, I'm sorry, y'all can't comment, obviously, but you could go visit our Twitter page. Go tell us who you think gonna win over there. If you want, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we'll do a little giveaway. I think maybe, if somebody can predict a final score correctly on Twitter. Who
Ooh.
knows?
We
Stay
should do a poll
tuned.
too. We should do a poll too.
I'll do a poll, maybe get us some money. So stay tuned. INISPod, INISPod. That's our Twitter at. Of course, the links are in the description, so you can follow us there. But giveaway coming. We'll settle out the details throughout these next couple days. But until then, Super Bowl Sunday. Like I said, it's your kids from the neighborhood. I Need a Sports Podcast. Signing out, man. We out.
You.
And we're knocking on your door. Can you give us something more?
I need it.